All right, in this video, let's talk about the table. Let's continue to talk about the table. I added some information here about my company called LogicBot. If you want to learn machine learning or data analysis, this is the only real world place to do it. So I guess I should also add, listen, you're either going to study or you're not going to study. So if you take my courses and you watch them, or any course, whether it be a college course, a course in machine learning, a course in data, anything you take, and you don't apply yourself and you don't study and you don't take notes, you're going to fail. Well, in the real world, it's really exacerbated by the fact that you're going to have to regurgitate all this in an interview. And when you get to a technical interview, they're highly stressful. I mean, I've warned people this on, I can't tell you how many times. And every time someone comes back and says, I went to the interview and I got slaughtered. I wasn't able to answer anything. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Well, now you know. Next time, be prepared. All right. These jobs are for the elite, especially the data engineer and the machine learning engineer, the DBA. These are elite players in this space. If you want to be there, you're going to have to study. All right. So we've got our table. This is a table. We'll call this the header, right? This is the header. So what is a header? A header just has information about the table, right? This may be the column name. All right, so these are the actual rows with data, and we'll put a 1 here, put a 2 here, and we'll put a 3 here. Usually tables are named for real-world entities. This may be a customer. This could be a vendor, the vendor table, right? This, the first column, is almost always the primary key, and we talked a little bit about that in the last video. A primary key uniquely identifies every row in this table. All right, so this is our primary key. And if this was a customer table, it might be named cust underscore ID. And a company I work for had this exact same nomenclature for their table. This is exactly how it looked. It was cust ID. This is a primary key. All right, so this, the way this is, the way these 1, 2, 3, 4, there's a fancy name for it, and it's called a monotonically increasing key. All right, and that means these increase in a value of 1, 2, 3, or 2, 4, 6, whatever. It means they increase. So a primary key is often a single column. All right, a single column. And it's that way, COLUMN, and it's that way because we want this to be fast, right? Relational databases are about processing speed. We want the transactions to be small and fast. All right, so it'll be a single column. Now, if it were, there are times when it's going to be two. Let's say we have 2 columns, right? This is called a composite primary key. Yes, you're going to have to know that. Yeah, this is all stuff that you're going to have to memorize and be able to spit out in an interview. All right. So we've got a single column, so be a primary key. A composite primary key is one or more, or 2 or more columns, right? So let's talk about an index. So what's an index? An index is something we place on a column. And what does an index do? An index, come over here. I was looking for a place to write an index, the definition for an index. And it's nothing more than an efficient way to locate your data, to locate data. And there are 2 primary kinds. There are more than 2, right? But these are the 2 core kinds. We've got 1 and 2. We've got a clustered index, clustered, and a non-clustered. We'll just put, since I ran out of space, we'll call this non-CLU, non-CLU. We'll call that non-clustered. And that looks like scribble, but you get it. All right, so we've got non-clustered. And yes, you're going to have to know the difference, even though we're not going to talk about that right now. All right, because we're throwing enough at you in these little videos, right? And there's not a lot of information on purpose, because all this information you're going to have to know. You're going to have to memorize it. So each one of these videos may be quick, but this is information that you're going to have to know. It's the foundation for working with relational databases. It's the foundation for working with data in the real world. All right.